When Valve first introduced the Armory Pass to Counter-Strike 2 back in October, it completely changed how players progressed and earned rewards. Before that, CS2 followed the same model that CSGO used for years, with random drops, weapon cases, and the occasional operation. The Armory Pass flipped that system on its head and gave players a permanent, structured way to grind for skins, stickers, and weapon charms just by simply playing the game. The Armory Pass wasn't just another content drop, it was a complete rework of how the progression functions in CS2. Valve essentially brought the Battle Pass concept, something games like Fortnite and Apex Legends has been perfecting for years. And now, roughly every 6 months, CS2 players can now expect a major update to the Armory Pass, each one bringing fresh content like new collections, weapon finishes, maps, and even limited time cosmetics. These updates have become very consistent for the game, marking its major points in evolution within the CS2 ecosystem. And today, I'd like to take a look at the pattern and explore what we could potentially see for the future of the next Armory Pass update. So first, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the timeline for the next big Armory Pass update. So looking at the past timelines for the Armory updates, Valve has consistently released a major refresh every 4 to 6 months. The original Armory was released on October 2nd, 2024, followed by the Spring Forward update on March 31st, 2025. And there was also a few smaller updates and removals of weapons like the Desert Eagle Heat Treated and the XM Solitude. And most recently, we've got the Maps and Charms update, marking the 1 year of the Armory Pass's introduction on October 2nd, 2025. Now, with this steady pattern of seasonal updates, it only makes sense to expect the next major Armory update to arrive in spring of 2026, likely around March or April. That would roughly mark the 6 months since the release of the latest content update, which was the Maps and Charms update that we just got. And that almost lines up perfectly with what Valve's usual update cycle is. So if we use this prior knowledge that we have of the past updates to the Armory, it does make sense that in March or April of 2026, sometime in spring, that we'll get a pretty major update to the Armory Pass. So now that we have a bit of an understanding of the timeline to expect this next update, I wanted to talk about some of the major changes that we could expect to see. There's been a lot of leaks surrounding the Armory Pass these last couple months, and recently Gabe Follower, a well-known Counter-Strike leaker, shared a series of tweets revealing some new details about upcoming features possibly coming to CS2 and the Armory Pass, and specifically the bidding system and the long-rumored pet system. According to his findings, new localization strings were discovered in the in-game files, referencing a bidding system that will let players use their Armory stars to participate in timed auctions for limited edition items. And with these auctions, based on the data, they appear to be blind, meaning that you won't see what others have bid, and if you lose, your stars will likely be forfeited unless you withdraw before the timer ends. Some leaked information also suggests that each auction will reset every few hours, offering new rotations of rare or exclusive items within the Armory Pass rather than through a standalone market. And yet again, this is just another way that Valve will force us to use their in-game store rather than a third-party market. This system could 100% bring a new layer of interaction and rarity to the Armory Pass. This is something that's been leaked for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure that it'll be coming to the Armory Pass in the very near future. Whether it's this next huge update, I think it's just a matter of time. And we also have the new references when it comes to pets and eggs that have also been found in the in-game files, and this seems to point to being added to the game as well. Data miners have confirmed that animations showing players holding chickens, inspecting eggs, and even petting them have been found in the in-game files, and yet again, that is fully credited to Gabe Follower on Twitter. These discoveries have fueled the belief that CS2 may be getting an entirely new cosmetic system where players can hatch and raise pets, possibly starting them as eggs that evolve into fully grown chickens, and even with some having unique appearances. And reports go as far as suggesting that these pets may be interactive in player lobbies. You'll be able to feed them, inspect them, or display them in menus and lobbies. The idea of earning pet eggs through the Armory auctions makes sense, as it ties both systems together under the same progression. But while the bidding system seems fairly grounded in evidence since the localization strings exist in the code, Valve hasn't officially confirmed either edition yet, but the presence of UI strings, new animations, and consistent mentions by Gabe Follower himself make it likely that both the Armory auction and the pet system mechanics will be actively added into the Armory Pass, or a system like that, in the very near future. So now that we've covered all the recent leaks and possible additions and features that could be coming into the Armory Pass, I wanted to shift focus to what actually we could see in the next Armory Pass update. There's been plenty of speculation of what Valve might add or remove with this next big refresh. Some players believe that we could see certain items like the elemental sticker crafts phased out, alongside with the Sport and Field collection. And not to mention, it's also possible that some of Valve's official made charms could be cycled out to make room for new designs. But this next update could bring a huge wave of new content. We might see an entirely new skin collection added, alongside with some fresh stickers and unique theme designs. And while the Genesis Terminal case was a huge disappointment to many people in the community, I personally do not see that this is the end of cases. I think we'll see a brand new case added, and I'm almost certain it'll drop alongside the next big Armory Pass update, just like we got the addition to the gallery case that was added in the first drop of the Armory Pass. And there's also my speculation what I think could happen with the future of the Fever case. I think just like the introduction of the gallery case that was first introduced into the Armory Pass, I think that the Fever case, this next update, will probably be phased out here soon. I think just like the gallery case was introduced into the Armory Pass, and then the Fever case was introduced into the Armory Pass, we now know that the gallery case has left and spiked in price. I think the Fever case will probably remain in the Armory Pass for another 6 to 8 months, but when the new case is introduced into the Armory Pass, I think we'll have the same kind of phase out that we had with the gallery case when we see that a new case is introduced. For me, there's definitely a lot of speculation when it comes to the future of the next Armory Pass update. Definitely, like I said before, I think that we'll get this next update sometime in the spring of 2026. I think for sure that we'll get a new collection of skins that are added into the game. I think we'll see the removal of the elemental sticker crafts, and not to mention the Valve created official charms. I think we could see some of them phased out as well. I also strongly believe that this is not the end of cases. Everybody's been saying that after the Genesis terminal has came out. I truthfully believe that we will get a new case that's added in this next update if we haven't already gotten a new case after the major in December. And speaking of the major in December, this timing could play a big part in how this update could unfold. If cash hasn't made its long-awaited return after the major, I think it's highly likely that we'll see this reintroduced with the next Armory Pass update. That combination of a new case, new skins, and maybe even a cash collection, this would make for a massive update for spring of 2026 and a perfect way to close out another chapter of CS2's evolving content cycle. So like I said, I think the time to look for is going to be spring of 2026. I think this will be a huge update for the future of CS2, but when it comes to the future of CS2, there's still a lot to be done. We need ZackNemoLive to be working properly. We need new maps in the active map pool, and just maybe this update in spring could give us all that. But guys, I think that's all I've got for you today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you enjoying the new Armory Pass content so far with the Dr. Boom's charms? We've also got the maps and charms update with the community charms and stickers. Also, with this next major update to the Armory Pass, do you think we'll get the leaked bidding system and pets? Don't forget about the giveaway. Those details will be in the pinned comment of this video. But that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one.